So now in the second part of learning reflexive verbs, now we are going to transition from understanding the concept in English, and now we're going to be looking at it in Spanish. So first off, we need to know what the reflexive pronouns are. So we have it in Spanish, and then we have them in English. So for Spanish, we have me, which means myself. Then we have te, which means yourself. Se, his self, herself, itself. Then there is nos, which means ourselves. Then we have os, yourselves. And finally, we have se, which means themselves. And if you notice, se for singular is the same as se in plural, and context will help you decide and differentiate which one you are looking at and dealing with. So now that we have the reflexive pronouns that we're going to use in Spanish, now we're going to look at the verbs. So for an example, the infinitive, which is the dictionary word that you would look up to find what this word means, the infinitive would be despertarse in Spanish. This shows that this is a reflexive verb. So you just take the infinitive of the verb and then you add se to make it reflexive in its infinitive form. And so this verb in this form would mean to wake oneself up. And so then we have the infinitive form, we have the pronouns. So now we're going to look at how we form this reflexive pronoun plus the infinitive reflexive verb to make a sentence that says, I see myself or I see him, as we looked at in the previous video. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the reflexive pronoun and we're going to put it before number 1 plus number 2, which is the reflexive verb. And make sure that the verb is conjugated normally as you would conjugate it if it was not reflexive. So basically we have the reflexive pronoun plus the reflexive verb conjugated. And so if we want to say something, we would say lavarse. So we would say me plus lavo, conjugated, which means I wash myself. So there you go. So this is reflexive verbs and pronouns.